Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do something a little different. I use a lot of high-end makeup on this channel these days. However, when I first started blogging and sort of in the beauty space, I used to talk about a lot of drugstore stuff. So today I thought I would do a full drugstore face. I've got some really fun products here. I've got a couple of new eyeshadow products that I want to try out. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. I am just going to pop a little bit of the NYX Marshmallow primer on. This is a really hydrating primer. It smells really good. So I'm just going to pop this on. A lot of the products that I'm using today are products I do really enjoy. I perhaps don't reach for them as much as I should, but I do really enjoy them. So my drugstore eye primer that I used to use is deader than a dodo, so I'm just going to pop some concealer on my lids. This is the XX Revolution concealer, which is a really nice, like, thick, high coverage one. So it will make a lovely eye primer. Probably best if I got myself a mirror. This is the Body Blender from Dose of Lashes, which is a nice affordable one. But if you are looking for something that you could pick up in Boots or Superdrug, or the sort of pharmacy or drugstore, wherever you are in the world, the Eco Tools one is really nice. And I definitely say I would go for that one over the Real Techniques one. I just think it's a bit squishier and a bit sort of more like these kind of blenders. Right, so as I said, I've got a couple of new eyeshadow bits. This is one of the new collection 4-pan eyeshadow palettes. This one is Solar Voyage. These are all shimmery apart from this one, so I thought we'd use this on the lids today. And then I've got the 17 eyeshadow palette. 17 was around when I first started my YouTube channel, and I used to love their BB cream. Obviously Boots have just reintroduced it, so I thought I would give this one a go today. I think we're going to go for something pink so we can match it to these. So this is a Loreal 08. These are super affordable. I think you pick them up from Superdrug as well as buying them off the Loreal website, or you can get them on TikTok Shop where they've got even better deals. So I'm going to go in with this pink here. Just don't have any sort of shades. This is just a lighter pink in the palette. I'm going to take a little bit because I don't know what to expect pigment wise, and we're just going to pop this in the crease. Ooh, okay, that's really nice. I think this was about £4, and like I literally tapped my brush in that once, putting a bit more on. Perhaps tapped it 2 or 3 times this time. That is a really nice eyeshadow. I think if you're sort of a bit scared of bright eyeshadows, this could be a great way to go. Ooh, okay, I'm impressed with the quality of this. I didn't really know what to expect. Obviously, it's a very affordable brand. It's sort of gone and come back, so I was a bit like, what's it going to be like this time? But apparently really great. I'm going to go in with a Morphe fluffy blending brush. Fluffy blending brush. I'm just going to work that over that, and I'm going to use a little bit of the orange. I'm just going to blend that over the pink just to really straighten out those edges, make sure they're nice and blended. These are really nice. I am very impressed. I'm going to take another little Loreal brush. This is the LP11, and I'm going to go in a little bit of kickback, but not much, with this dark pink here. And I'm just going to run this through the crease. I'm using this really fine brush as I don't know how it's going to play. Okay. Not as dark as it looks in the pan. And it definitely sort of blends into that other pink. They're quite similar shades, but it's definitely not bad. I'm going to go back in with the orange. I'm just going to make sure that that's blended into there. Okay. I do not hate that. which is always a good thing. Obviously, bearing in mind, I'm not even wearing a proper eyeshadow primer right now. It's just some concealer. I'm going to do the outer corner, and we'll see how this dark pink does on its own. There is quite a lot of kick up, not something I necessarily mind, because I always do my foundation after I've done my eyes, but something that could bother other people. That dark pink, I would say the lighter pink is better, and it definitely has got some fallout on my face. I'm just going to wipe that away. Okay, let's do the other eye. I'm quite impressed considering the price and the fact, obviously, despite the fact it's not really a new brand, it sort of is a new brand again. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. So I'm just going to blend the pink into crease again. Okay, and then we're going to go in with the orange. Okay, I mean, it looks pretty nice. It's a little tiny bit patchy in some places where we've used that dark pink. But it could be so much worse. And then I'm just going to pop the pink on the outer corner again. Okay. Overall, with the colours I've tried so far, I think this is really nice. It's very affordable, so definitely worth it if you're in the market for like an affordable bright palette. Let's go on to this now. I did pull out one of my Barry and Pigment paints. I love these. But this one's the blue one because I think the pink one is at Sam's. So I think I'm just going to go in with these on the bare lid. I'm going to try this one, I think, first. And I'm going to go in with my finger because I want to do sort of the best that it can. Okay, it's pretty on the finger. It's got like a little bit of like a pinky shift to it. Okay, I mean, it looks a tiny bit chalky on the eyes, and it's not quite as shimmery as I would personally normally go for, but I am very much, at this point in time, a pigment girl. So yeah, I don't hate that. It's okay. Not, as I said, anything really revolutionary. Tiny bit chalky. I feel like on darker skin it would look very chalky, but it doesn't look bad. I'm just going to take the darker pink and I'm going to use my little finger to put this between the dark pink from the 17 palette and the lilac. Okay, again, it's not revolutionary, but it's pretty. It's pretty. So yeah, overall, I think if you are looking for some kind of colourful shades to add into your collection, you're not sure whether you're going to use them, these are both nice palettes. Right, on to some stuff that I already know I like. We're going to use the Maybelline Perfecta Glow. This is basically Maybelline's dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury. Just whack that everywhere. Don't love the sponge, but you all know my feelings if you're regulars on sponges on products. I just think they're a bit gross. But for ease of use, it's just easier to leave it on there. Okay, so that just gives you a really light glow. It's not as intense as the Charlotte Tilbury, so it's not quite as glowy. And comparing it to the e.l.f., which is sort of a drugstore kind of equivalent I've tried, the e.l.f. I find has got too much coverage for me. It's not a foundation. It's sort of more like a foundation type product rather than a like perfector and kind of, you get what I mean. This is the shade number 0.5 light. It does still look quite dark in the tube, but on the skin it doesn't really account to much. It's not got much kind of pigment to it. It's just that little like glow of radiance. Okay, so we've done that. This is probably my favourite budget foundation. This is the Max Factor Healthy Skin Harmony Foundation. This is really lovely. The packaging's a bit rubbish. This top always comes off, which drives me insane. But but it's a really nice foundation. So I'm just going to do a couple of pumps on my sponge. Thing is with this is it's really radiant and glowy. I think it's a really great foundation if you've got dry skin. And it was sort of the first time I ever tried anything more glowy. And I've basically not looked back since. So if you are on a budget and you do have dry skin, this one is really nice. It doesn't sink into any dryness. It sits really nicely on the skin. Shade range is not great. I think this is the lightest shade, or it was when I used to purchase it regularly. This is light ivory, and it's an okay shade for me. It's just a little kind of tint to orange, I would say. So maybe if you're paler than me, you might have to skip it or blend it down the neck. But it is a really nice one if you can find your shade. And obviously, being budget, the darker end of the spectrum is not great. Right, okay, let's do some cream bronzer. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I have no idea what shade this is because they don't put the shades on the bottom, which really infuriates me. I'm just going to use a Made by Mitchell MF3. And we're just going to take some of that product and pop it in the hollows of the cheeks. This is a really nice like contour shade for me. I really wish I could tell you what shade that is, but apparently putting the names on the bottom of products is not what e.l.f. do. I've got a load of their putty blushes as well, and none of those have got anything on them either. It's very strange. But it's a nice contour shade, adds a nice like shadow to my face without looking like really ashy and grey. A really, really great standout drugstore product for me. I really like that one. And then to pop some warmth back in, we're going to use the Heatwave Powder Bronzer from Barry M. This is beautiful. I also like their baked versions of their bronzers. They're really nice as well. I think Barry M are really underrated for makeup. Obviously, like, there was the big hoo-ha and everybody loved their nail polishes years and years ago. But their makeup was sort of subpar, and now I actually think their makeup has come a long way. This bronzer is really nice. I really like these pigment paints, the one I mentioned before. They do some really nice bits, and I think they're worth checking out these days. Right, we're going to do some blush. These are the Dream Matte blushes from Maybelline. This is Flirty Pink. Nobody ever mentions these, and I don't know why, because they are so nice. I think it's just kind of being related to that Dream Matte line doesn't do them any good. But they're a really, really nice cream. Quite sort of stiff, so they're easier to work with than some sort of softer creams. They do quite remind me of the e.l.f. Putty blushes. I think they're really lovely. I've got like a dark berry shade as well, which is great for the autumn. And I do think they're very underrated and they need to be talked about more. And then for highlighter, I wanted to mention this Beauty Bay one. Obviously, you can't get these in a store, but you can order them off Beauty Bay. You can get them on TikTok Shop. And most of the time they're like £4. But I wanted to mention them because they are the perfect kind of, you've got a subtle glow, or if you go in with your brush, you can get a really, really intense glow. And I love a highlighter that's sort of multi-use. You can do the like light, intense, and sort of in the middle glows. And these can be really, really built up. They're really pretty. They've got a nice shade range. Not the biggest in the world, but it's nice enough. Okay, so let's do something with these brows. Another Beauty Bay product, this is the Brush Up Brows Brow Soap. I think e.l.f. do a brow soap. I want to say somebody else does a brow soap as well. NYX have got loads of brow stuff. For me, I'm just into the brow kind of soap trend at the moment. So I literally just scrape my spoolie over the top. Some people wet it. I think it sticks better when you don't, and I just brush up my brows. Okay, so that's that, and then I've got the Barry M Brow Wand, which is like a gel and a pencil. So you've got gel with a little brush and then a pencil on the other end. And I'm just going to fill my brows in with the pencil where they're a bit sparse. Again, this is another really great hidden gem from Barry M. It's a really, really nice, quite soft, like pomade-y pencil. And the shade range is pretty good. This one is dark, which is a very dark brown. I think they've got a black one, and then they do like a light and a medium as well. Unfortunately, I can't comment on what the blonde shades are like because my hair is super dark. I'm just going to run a little bit of the gel through as well, just so you can see how kind of pigmented this is. Now, I sort of wish I could get the gel in the medium shade and the pencil in the dark shade, because the gel is very, very dark. But what I do with it is I'll pop it through the brows, and then I'll go back in with the spoolie that had the brow wax on it and just run that through them, just to take the colour down a little bit and make them look a little bit more natural. Because as you can see, that gel is really, really pigmented. It just takes them down sort of a bit. I'm just going to clean up this edge actually. And then just blend again. Okay, I'm going to pop a tiny bit of concealer on. Obviously there was a bit under the eyes from before, but I'm just going to pop it right in the inner corners. This concealer is quite heavy. I think if you've got kind of any sort of fine lines under your eyes, and if you sort of dry in quite an intense way under your eyes, it wouldn't be for you. I like this only when I use it this way. I wouldn't want to kind of put a big triangle under my eyes because I have got some sort of fine lines forming. Because, you know, getting on 24 now. No, but I have got some sort of kind of fine lines under the sort of middle of my eye, so I tend to just do the very, very corner. I'm just setting with the Rimmel Lasting Finish powder. I'm just using the little sponge that comes in that. It's just really nice. This is a nice kind of foundation powder, but I tend to prefer it for under the eyes. Right, I think all we've got left to do now is mascara and lips. So I'm going to go on the top lash, do the Lift and Divine 5D lash from Makeup Revolution. I'm going to be honest, this is just the only budget mascara I had open right now. I don't love it. It's not the worst mascara I've ever tried, but it's also not my favourite. So I'm just going to pop that on the top lashes. For me, this brush isn't plasticky enough. It's like a natural fibre bristle brush, and I prefer like a longer kind of spiky plastic brush. And then for a little bit of something fun, we're going to pop some of the MUA Intense Colour Super Pigment Mascara in Lilac under my eyes. Under my eyes, on my lower lash line. These colour mascaras from MUA have got a really funky little brush to make sure you get like plenty of pigment on your lashes. And I love a coloured mascara. I've actually just ordered a couple of the new Glisten ones, and I'm really excited for those to come. So just giving a little pop of something. I love Lilac mascara because it really brightens up your eyes. Like I said, this brush is very weird. Like, let me just... It's like a really, really tiny... I'm just trying to block my face out. A really tiny little plasticky brush. It's really strange. But it does a really nice job of like packing the pigment on, which I think you need for a coloured mascara. Right, last but not least, I did bring some liner. These are the L'Oreal coloured liners. I really like these, but I think we're going to skip that today. So I'm just going to do my lips. MUA lip liners are amazing. They've changed the packaging of these, but the formula is the same. This is TLC. I'm not sure they do this exact shade anymore, which makes me very sad, because this shade is amazing. But they now have like a liner, a gloss, a lipstick, and a matte liquid lipstick all in the same shade now, which I think that idea is really great. But this is one of my favourite kind of everyday nudes. And then I'm going to pop on the Coloration Shine Balm 658 in Topless. These, along with the normal Coloration lipsticks, are so underrated. Those like little slim Coloration lipsticks are gorgeous. These are very much meant to be a dupe for the YSL ones. And they're just super, super comfortable on the lips. And they smell so good. So that's it for today. I hope you did enjoy this look. It's something a little bit different for me. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, hit subscribe. And if you want to make sure you never miss another video, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post. You've been fabulous. I've been Cole of the Ball, and I will see you next time. Bye.